Hello everybody, this is Scott Dudley from Funnel Fella Radio, and today my special guest is Stephen Glaze, who's based in Missouri, and he's the VP of Sales at Smart Exteriors, who are the leading Kansas City siding company. Thanks for being on the show, Stephen. Are you ready to rock and roll?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. All right, so let's go back a bit and start off with your background and how you ended up becoming the Vice President of Sales for Smart Exteriors.
Well, my background is my father owned a roofing company, and so I kind of grew up in the business. And then, after college, went full time into that family business. And what we did with that business is we chased hailstorms around the Midwest, selling basically roofing and siding repairs and things that from insurance related storm damage repair. And so did that for 10 or 12 years. And then, my wife, I got married, and my wife decided that, that we didn't really want to travel so much. And so she actually, started the Smart Exteriors business, got it set up for me and everything. And then I transitioned over to doing this. And now we focus more products, outside of just roofing and siding. We do gutters and, gutter guards and windows and things like that, but on a smaller regional basis.
Okay, I was just about to ask sort of what you actually, what services and stuff that you sell. So that pretty much answers that. So how many are on your team?
So there's a small team. So it's my wife and I, 2 sales guys and another girl in the office, and then everyone else is a subcontractor.
Oh, okay, cool. All right then. So to get back to the topic of funnels, what sort of lead generation funnels are you using that seem to convert the best right now?
So right now, our focus is, 100% on just online marketing. A lot of SEO, working on that sort of thing. Everything comes in through the website right now, and that seems to be our focus.
All right. So do you send the traffic to the homepage, or do you have special landing pages that are optimized for different target markets, or is it pretty much just sent to the homepage?
No, we have, the way I design my website is basically each page is almost like its own landing page. So like for siding, we have a landing page. For gutters, we have a landing page. For each product, for windows, that sort of thing, with a call to action. When I first started the business, the first thing I feel like our website has gone through, about 3 different phases. The first phase was just get something up to have some credibility, and people could look it up and go directly to it and say, okay, yeah, they're a real company, they got a website. Then, I started getting into some pay-per-click and realizing how important conversion is. And so we redesigned it to focus on conversions. And that's when we switched over to more of a landing page type, website, where each we could send people for whatever ads we were running, we could send them to a specific landing page, and that kind of made my website like that. We noticed a big improvement in conversions when we did that. And so that's how we have it set up.
Right, I'd imagine there'd be a fair bit of competition for that sort of product. Do you spend a lot of time researching your competitors and keeping an eye on what they're up to?
Absolutely. One of the things that I always say is that in the industry we are in, there is a lot of competition, but there's not a lot of good competition. And so, I find myself competing with just 3 or 4 main guys. Although there's hundreds out there, but it funnels down.
Fair enough. Okay. So do you have any sort of franchise or sister companies around the rest of the United States, or is it just purely in Missouri that you focus on?
No, it's just in Missouri. We've thought about that. I see that's how a lot of the companies that I model are growing, is by adding locations. And so I'm at the stage in my business where we are trying to implement processes and get that down. First thing we focus on was a lot of marketing and getting leads. And now we've done that, and we get a lot of leads, and we could actually grow that, scale it. But before we can do that, we feel like we have to get better at our processes and be able to maintain the level of service and quality and everything that, everyone is expected from us.
Yeah, fair enough. But so that might be a possibility in the future, maybe at some stage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. That's exciting. All right. So looking at your history here, you've sort of pivoted a bit from storm damage to siding and guttering. So why did you make this change, and when did that occur?
So we noticed a big difference in that storm damage repair business after 2008, 2009. We kind of had the housing crisis, and what I noticed, I think, happened was a lot of people that were in new construction all pivoted to storm damage because there was nobody building houses at that time. And so, like, we used to go to a town. I give you an example. There's a town in Iowa, Cedar Falls, Iowa, got hit with hail in 2006. And we went up there, and it was like, there's one local remodeling company there in that town. And there was two other guys from out of state that came in to help along with us.
Yep.
There was so much work there that, there was enough to go around. It was easy. We go back to that same town in 2009, and there was 40 companies from out of town. And so the way we generated businesses, it was basically just knocking doors. You would just go to a neighborhood and you'd start knocking doors, offering estimates. And when in 2006, people were excited to see you, and they would be like, "Oh my God, before you leave, you got to go see my neighbor because they can't get anybody out here. And, everybody's backed up, and, I can't, thanks for stopping by." And well, obviously when 40 companies show up, it's a totally different, reception. They've got signs on their door saying, "Please don't knock. We've already got somebody. Go away. I'm going to call the police." It was bad. And so what became the easiest part of that business, and it was generating leads, became the most difficult part of that business. And, like I said, at the same time, I was tired of being gone from home for, a month at a time, or, coming home every 2 weeks and all that stuff. It just wasn't good. So we decided to pivot to, growing a local business right here in Kansas City.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. So sort of fast forward to modern day times with COVID-19, just wondering how that might have affected your sales and installation processes.
What happened was in the spring, we got, right when this happened, and I can remember we were getting ready to start a large project, and we got the basically stay-at-home orders. Everybody was going to be quarantined for 2 weeks to slow the curve, flatten the curve was what they told us. And however, construction was deemed essential, and so we were kind of figuring that out, like, okay, so we can go to work, or and then I was like checking with suppliers, are you guys going to be open if I need to get more supplies? And once we figured out that everybody was in our industry was going to be around and working, we decided to move forward. And so we did. And I'll be darned if the phone didn't just start ringing off the hook. We got, it was our best spring ever. We had so many people, I think, that were home and looking at their house, and they had time to meet with contractors and things, that we had an extremely busy spring. Our summer was better than ever. Now, our fall, which is usually our busiest time of year, wasn't as busy. We actually took a step back. And I think it's, a lot of the work that we've got in the fall just moved earlier to the spring and summer, as opposed, I think that's what happened. So it's been a great year overall. It's just different, totally different in how it all came about. In terms of the install process, we're an exteriors company. It's all done outside. Not a whole lot of changes there. I know when we go give estimates, we wear the masks and things like that. But we do more Zoom. Usually it was a 2-call close. We'd go out, we'd look at the house, measure, talk to people, and then we'd come back and sit down in the kitchen and go over everything. Well, now we still do that first appointment. It's all outside. And then that second appointment is typically a Zoom call, where we're doing it online.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. So did the marketing change much? I mean, from 2019 to 2020, as far as the difference with COVID, or is it still pretty much the same as what you're doing before, marketing wise?
For us, it's basically the same, but I think that it was very good for us because we focus so much online. We don't do a lot of, we're not big on the trade shows and the home shows and things like that. And so, it benefited us because all of that got canceled in the spring. So it pushed everybody to, they had to just go online and find somebody, and there we were. And so I think that helped us a lot. But that's really the biggest change I've seen is, a lot of people are now pivoting to, trying to, oh my God, I got to get online and really focus on that as opposed to all the trade shows and things that home shows that they used to do. So
Yeah.
that's, we were already there, but a lot of people are moving this way.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. So tell us about one of your most successful marketing campaigns and why you believed it performed so well.
Honestly, one of the best that we sell, gutter screens, keep the leaves out of the gutters and things like that. And with that, we did a direct mail, believe it or not. You think that that's,
Okay.
old school and nobody's doing that anymore. And we did a targeted direct mail campaign that we had just unbelievable success with. I was really surprised because there's so much junk mail that we get these days that you would think it doesn't work anymore. But I think the reason that was successful is because for that particular product, we know who our customer is. It's someone who's, in their 60s, they own their home, they, close to retirement, like, they don't want to get on the ladder anymore. And so we just have we can really drill it down and be very targeted in who we send that to. And that was successful. We're noticing that we're interested in trying to, because with Facebook, you can actually get very targeted with your, with your ads. And so we think we can get the same success there. So we're kind of looking into that. But I think anytime you really, really know who your customer is and you can just drill it down and identify and get directly to them, you're going to have success.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, so was it mainly flyers or was it letters or what
It
was
was
the
a
direct
it was a
mail?
postcard. It was a postcard
Oh yeah.
that we sent out with a little coupon. Offered 15% off, and it showed a picture of our gutter guard, and we sent it out to targeted list.
So you're able to actually like instead of just sending it to a whole suburb, you're actually able to target it down to.
Yes. Yeah, we would only people that were over the age of, I think, 55. They own their own home. Their home value was a certain point. We had all these different criterias, and so it may only hit, in one neighborhood, it may only hit, a handful of people, but over, it was all our customers.
So you
Now
must.
we did the age of the home so that we could know that they probably had
Oh,
trees that were
okay.
mature and things like that. So we had it pretty targeted.
You must have worked with a company that had that sort of data, did you? Or data, as you guys
Yes.
call it.
Yeah. We had to. Yeah.
Yeah,
We had to buy all that.
yeah, fair enough. But it sounds like it was worth it. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, excellent. All right, so a bit of a generic question, I guess, but how tough would you say it is to succeed in the construction industry for somebody that's got no idea?
Well, it's like I said earlier, there's a lot of competition, but not a lot of good competition. And I think that, I don't know. I almost want to say it's fairly easy if you just, have a plan and stick to it and kind of work the process.
I guess having that family history would help as well, sort of with your dad
Yeah, I
doing
mean,
finance.
I had the knowledge, and so I had the background, and I mean,
Yeah.
for somebody who, so I guess it came easy for me. But if you don't know anything about it, you would have to, I guess, first learn about it. But for somebody who has the background and just a little bit of business sense, I think it's just like anything. It's just stay consistent, and do the right things and be consistent, and usually works out well.
Yeah, that sort of leads into the next question. What advice would you have for home-based service entrepreneurs that are just getting started?
Get online reviews at any cost. That has been one of our biggest things that I think have helped us, because it not only helps you close the deal, it helps you close the deals at such a higher margin. People, they said, when I told you that before, that there's a lot of competition, but I find myself compete with the same 4 or 5 guys. We're the ones that have the best reviews, and those are the ones that people choose.
So what would that be like, Facebook or Yelp or Google, sort of
Well,
all of
with
those?
us, it's Google. So you need to have your Google My Business page up
Ah, yeah,
and
yep.
up and running, and then you've got to basically. It's not the easiest, to send. When I first started doing this, tell someone, hey, can you leave me a review on Google? Well, a lot of people don't even know how to do it, and you have to have a Gmail account, and we've got a link that we can actually send to people now, and it basically all they do is click on the link. It takes them, pops up if they're logged into their Gmail, it'll pop right up, to leave the review, and so we've made it easier for them. We at the end of each job, we take our customers some brownies. We make sure they're happy, and then we ask them for a review. They get an automatic email. And then if they don't leave a review, then 3 days later, they get another email asking again. And if they don't leave a review, 2 weeks later, they get another email asking for a review. And then if they still don't leave a review, then usually at the end of the year, around Christmas time, we'll offer some sort of gift card or something like that for anyone that leaves us a review that hasn't, or something like that. So we push it hard because it's so important.
Yeah, fair enough. So in the end, most people would give you a review, I guess, with all that
Yeah,
follow up. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
awesome.
I mean, you have to earn it. You have to do a good job. And I almost, when I would first started doing this, I felt like, I mean, there were certain jobs that I was basically working for the review. That was more important than the profit on the job. It was, I mean, I did repairs. I would do certain repair jobs that I didn't even want to mess with, and there's not a lot of money in them, but I would just do it, and I would service the heck out of them just to get a review and to try and build that up at first. And I think that was a good investment on my part.
Yeah, fair enough. Makes sense. All right. So how has writing a book helped your business?
It's helped quite a bit. It's helped with credibility. People view us. When I first did it, I actually did it for SEO purposes. Was to get the backlink
Ah,
from Amazon,
yeah,
and that was kind of the idea. And I wasn't sure that anyone was ever going to read it.
yeah.
And so until earlier this year, one of the largest jobs we've ever sold, I went out to see a customer, and they told me that they had downloaded my book on Amazon and read it, paid for it, and that's why I was there. And they told me before I even gave them a price, they were going to go with me, and so that made it easy and profitable. And then I ended up getting their neighbor, because they knew that these people were super picky, and if they chose me, then they wanted me to do their house too. And so it's just credibility. And one thing about marketing, and that's the same thing with reviews, is that if you do great things for people and they don't post it online, it's the only people that know about that is them and maybe one or two people that they tell. But if you can continually do great work, and you get people to post that online where everybody can see it, it's so powerful. And same thing with a book. If you have a lot of knowledge about the different types of siding products that are out there, and the kind of the warranties and the features and benefits of these, and you don't share it with anybody, it's as if you don't have the knowledge. It doesn't matter. And so
Goes to waste. Yeah.
you got to get it out there.
So what was the book about? Is that sort of about how to choose the right sidings and stuff? Was it?
Yeah, it was a siding guide. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't understand the warranties, and that's a big thing that we talk about in that book. Is,
Ah, okay.
for example, if a siding product says it has a lifetime fade warranty, you think, oh, this is great, this product's never going to fade, it's got a lifetime fade warranty. Well, that's not necessarily the case. What it says is, when it fades, this is what we're going to do. And it may be that we're just going to give you, 20 cents, per square foot to paint that section. And you have to decide, would that be acceptable or not? And if it's not, then maybe that's not the product that you want. And, so there's a lot more goes into it than just kind of what the marketing side of their materials say. And so
Yeah, I
we dig
see.
into that a little bit.
Yeah, nice. All right. So just out of curiosity, is there much repeat business in that industry?
No, not as much as you would want. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
it's mostly referrals is big.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We do someone, the next thing you know, we're doing their parents' house or their friend's house and things like that. So referrals are big. That's the benefit of selling different products, because a lot of times we'll go out and we'll install new siding for someone, and then 2 years later they're calling us and they want windows or gutters or something like that. But that's not a huge part of our business.
Fair enough. All right. So just getting back to marketing, what are you curious about or researching right now regarding digital marketing?
I think the next step for us is going to, a big focus is going to be social media. I know Facebook, I know some people are having some real success with that. Again, you can drill down if you know your customer and you know who they are. You can really target, and I think that's the key, is target marketing. It's different for the different products. I've noticed, like I said, for gutter guards, we know we've got it drilled down. I can tell you exactly what that customer looks like, and we can target them. For siding, it's different. I mean, we get a wide, it could be a young couple that just bought a house, or it could be an older couple that has, wants to get their house in order before they retire, and they don't want to have future expenses and maintenance and things. And so you almost, with that, it's more the SEO. You want to just be where they go to look. When somebody's looking for siding, you want to be there so you can be found. Whereas some of the other products, especially gutter guards and maybe even windows, you want to, who that customer is, and you can go find them. And I think that's the next step for us, and with social media and Facebook and things like that.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So just out of interest, can you tell us about any exciting material advances in the siding and gutter protection industry at the moment?
It comes on the siding side of things. PVC siding is I think where it's headed. So you've got vinyl, which is just, it's basically PVC, but it's super thin, and it's inexpensive, and it's got some drawbacks. So what people are looking for is a hardboard siding, just a thicker siding like you would get with wood or fiber cement or something like that. But they're making PVC siding, which is, it's like 10 times thicker than your vinyl. It's actual, it's a hardboard siding. Never rots. You don't ever have to worry about that. The fade, the seams, it's got a lot of advantages to it. The one drawback is it's expensive right now because, the volume. And so I think as that price point comes down, that's definitely going to be where the market moves.
Okay, cool. All right, so just to wrap up, where can people go to find out more about smart exteriors?
Our website would be the best place. That's smartextpros.com. And anyone that goes there can download a free copy of my book if they're interested in learning more about siding. It's just a siding buyer's guide, and it's a free there online. They can grab that.
Awesome. All right then. Thanks for your time, Stephen. Really appreciate that. Take care, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.
All right. See you. Bye.